Latin mass thing. I'm
Yeah.
quite interested in like.
Mm.
I don't really understand why there's problems about
Yeah.
it. Like, why are some people like, ooh, Latin mass is ooh, and then others are like, well, Latin mass is not necessary or something.
Yeah.
Apparently, Pope Francis banned, but I'm not so sure. I don't know.
He's
Did he ban it?
He's put a lot of restrictions on it. Because I think the way it works now, like if a priest wants to celebrate mass in the old rite, which is like the Latin version, he has to like ask permission from his bishop, and like there's more stuff to do with it as well. So the bishop has like grant permission.
It is bureaucracy,
Yeah.
like essentially, like you have to go through a lot of unnecessary, like not paperwork, but just talks to allow it. I guess it's an extension of how society is very polarized now, even in the Catholic sphere.
Yeah, even within the church.
There's just like the whole debate about whether we should allow Latin mass or does it divide people like this here and here.
I mean, the people who like regularly go to Latin mass and advocate for it, like their arguing point is that if anything, it's the new mass that's more divisive. Because technically, if the new mass hadn't come about, then there wouldn't be this issue because masses would still be primarily in Latin.
Exactly.
I mean, personally, I've only been to one Latin mass, like an actual Latin mass in my life, and it was in like a St. Pius X chapel, and it was interesting. It's very different to a Novus Ordo mass in that, like the congregation very rarely actually like. Because obviously, like in the Novus Ordo mass that we go to most of the time, you know, the congregation kind of like back and forth with the priest. And, like in the Latin mass, there's very little of that.
So it's more the attention's
is more all
towards.
Yeah, I mean, also it's ad orientem as well, so the priest is facing the altar.
Oh yeah, the other.
So yeah, it's very much facing the altar and God, which is kind of a nice part about it, you know. But
the only thing I remember, my own mum, who's very religious. She went to a Latin mass and she was like, she found it very boring.
I mean,
I was like, if she's saying that,
I mean,
imagine me.
Yeah, but the thing is, like that Latin, like it was decent mass and everything, yeah. There was long periods where like, you know, the congregation wasn't doing anything like verbally. I mean, I could see like there were people praying the rosary and stuff like that, and had like little prayer books and stuff, which is you know just fine. I mean, in the past, you know, before the Second Vatican Council, that happened all the time. You had people praying in mass, and the priest would be doing his thing, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But yeah, and like when it came to the priest's sermon, he went on for like 40 minutes. It wasn't a bad sermon, yeah, but like I was dozing off near the back. I'll be honest, you know, and I try and pay attention to the priest, but and I kind of wonder like, well, if the point of it is the mass, why is your sermon going on for 40 minutes?
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know.
What kind of mass was this?
It was a Latin mass, but it was celebrated by a priest who belongs to the Society of St. Pius X. Do you guys know a little bit on them? If not, okay, well, it's a juicy topic. It's a juicy topic, so I'll find some info. So basically, way back, well, I don't say way back, but I think this is kind of around the Second Vatican Council kind of period. So there was a French archbishop, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, it's like Lefebvre or something. But
that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Was he a
the controversial
heretic or something?
Well, I don't know. Some people might accuse him of that. I think that's probably a bit harsh. But basically, the short story is that he ordained priests and maybe bishops without the Pope's permission.
Oh, I think I've heard about this. Yeah.
Which some people say that automatically excommunicated him, but other people say otherwise. Lefebvre opposed a lot of the changes begun by the Second Vatican Council. And so here on Britannica.com it claims that he was excommunicated in 1988 for consecrating new traditionalist bishops without the approval of the Holy See in Rome.
Isn't there a similar thing going on in Hong Kong though? Apparently the communist government is the one who chooses the bishops there because they don't want like the Catholic Church to influence the population or something. Like they want to control what's going on.
Yeah, the CCP is very much they just want the people to listen to the party and not to the church.
So it's that's kind of like what's going on there, isn't it?
Kind of similar. I mean, Lefebvre's motivation was that he disagreed with a lot of the changes of the Second Vatican Council and wanted to maintain tradition quite strictly. So that's why he consecrated these bishops, because like obviously he wasn't going to live forever, so he was like continuing that kind of an act of defiance. But some people say it was like righteous because like I don't know. It's a like I said, it's a very juicy topic.
Huh?
Yeah, exactly. But then raises the question like, well, where do you draw the line with being obedient? Like, you know, if your superior is perpetuating something that is possibly wrong, would you still obey? But like, yeah, it's a tricky topic. But just to briefly come back to like the CCP and the relationship with the church, I think like the Vatican and the CCP have some kind of agreement in place at the moment where like the CCP does pick bishops, or at least they nominate them. I'm not sure. I'm not that well read on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some controversy there.
Yeah. Which
is weird to think about, that you have like bishops in China which are like sponsored by the Communist Party of China. It's like communism is not compatible with Catholicism.
Yeah.
Like plenty of popes have written on it.
Thanks for watching that short clip of Galilee. If you'd like to listen to or watch the full episode, you can find it in our playlist, or you can click on the screen now. God bless, and goodbye for now.